Good morning, everybody. We are back together for another week of workouts. So today's workout is going to feature some more stability ball activity. Again, I'm trying to keep the stability ball exercises close together to help with transition time. So try really hard to pay attention to what exercise is coming up next so you'll remember how to transition to it and not lose any time. Okay, our first exercise on here is our walkout to a tempo push-up. So remember, anytime we use the word tempo, it's just going to refer to the amount of time that you're in certain parts of the exercise. So it will require you to either slow down, speed up, most importantly, just count to yourself so you pace yourself through the exercise. Our tempo listed for this walkout with the push-up is 3-3. So the tempo refers to the push-up. So I'm going to walk out as quickly as I can. And then I'm going to execute a full push-up, 3 seconds down and 3 seconds up before I walk back. So it's going to be that toe touch first, walk on out. When I get there, 1, 2, 3, hit the ground. Do the best you can coming back up with a straight body. 3, 2, 1, walk back. And go again immediately. Walk out. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, and walk back. So the goal is to kind of slow down our push-up. Yes, it will limit the number that you can do at a time, but the goal is that we're spending a little bit more time working in all of those deep angles of our push-up. So again, the focus is on nice straight body on that push-up. Use the knees if you need to. I'd rather you be on your knees at parts of it with a nice straight body than having to sway back and worm your way up. All right, next exercise, our stability ball dumbbell pullover, followed by the single arm chest press. So we did both of these last week, I believe the last workout of last week. Slide that out of my way. What I showed you last week was using one dumbbell, and I talked briefly about using 2 dumbbells. But we're going to talk about using 2 dumbbells this week. I know that a lot of us are a little bit more limited. If you have a 15-pound and it's pretty heavy, then you're good. Keep using the single like you did last week. But if that 15-pound isn't heavy enough, or you don't have something in the heavier range, I'm going to show you how you can put 2 dumbbells together to do the pullover, and then you can keep the 2 dumbbells in your hands while you go into the chest press, so you're not having to sit up, set them down, lose time between the exercises. So I've got my pair of 15s. So 15s are going to be a pretty good challenge on the line pullover for me, and then I'm going to be able to use both of them on the single arm chest press. I'm going to walk out first, just like last week, pulling it tight to the body. I'm walking out until my head and neck are resting on the ball. Arms are pressed over my chest. Hips are up, glutes are tight. So I'm going to go ahead and put the dumbbells together. I'm squeezing them together. If your hands are big enough, you can kind of reach across and try to hold your hands together. Most of us, our hands will not be big enough, so you'll actually have to press the dumbbells together. From here, it's the same move as last week. So I'm going to let the arms open up over my head, get a nice big open of my shoulders, and then I'm going to squeeze them back forward. So if you used 1 dumbbell last week and didn't use 2, this is going to feel significantly different. A lot heavier, especially as you get toward the bottom. Most important is as you go, you don't allow your hips and chest to come up in the air. If you do that, then you're not using your lats. Your focus is to stabilize the body, open the armpits, pull back to the top. So I finished this one and I'm ready to go into my chest press. If you want to keep your 2 dumbbells, all you have to do is alternate 1 press out of the right, 1 press out of the left. If you want to do all of one side first, keep 1 up at the ceiling and execute that press right there. All right, remember the cues on our press, the hips stay up nice and high, the body stays still, so the only thing moving is that 1 arm. Make sure that hand goes out over your elbow every time. Bring them back into the chest as you roll back up. If you are or on a tile floor, I suggest keeping a mat underneath you. The only time that will make a difference is when you're rolling back up, especially with garage floors. If they're painted, your shoes may be slick against them. And the last thing I want to happen is as you're rolling back, your ball slips out from underneath you and you land on your tailbone. So please keep a mat, any kind of mat, yoga mat, something that's going to give you a little bit more of a sticky situation for the shoes as you walk back. All right, guys, moving on. Set these aside. So we're still with our stability ball, but now we have 2 in a row on the floor. This first one are our stability ball hinges. Anyone who has ever worked out with me before has probably executed a stability ball hip hinge. It's one of the best hamstring and glute exercises that we can do while not standing with a bunch of heavy weights. So I'm on my back. Most importantly on our hip hinge is to make sure that the bottom of your shoes is what you're trying to put on the ball. If you have a super high ball, this may be a little bit more challenging. Just make sure it's the bottom of your heel and not the back of your leg, all right? So knees are bent, the bottom of my shoes are on, arms are down by my side, palms up, head resting on the floor. From here, I'm going to execute the lift of my hips by squeezing my glutes first. So I'm going to squeeze the glutes, press down, keeping the glutes nice and tight, and then a slow return to the floor. If you do not squeeze your glutes, your hamstrings will cramp. Don't want that to happen. And you get tired enough in your hamstrings, they may cramp anyway. Stick it in the air, pull it in, get it stretched back out. But 98% of the time, if you lock your glutes in first, your hamstrings won't cramp. So always remember, upper body's relaxed, squeeze the glutes first, press down, keep the glutes tight as you lower. Alrighty? Slow and steady, make sure you're really trying to open the hips as much as you can to the ceiling. Try not to stop with the hips still low, you're missing out on part of the extension here. Squeeze those glutes, get that full lift open, back down. So at the end of this one, we're immediately going to grab that ball between the calves. The farther away you grab it, like if I go all the way to my feet, the harder these lying windshield wipers will be. Totally up to you. If you feel real strong on these, take those feet all the way out there and grab with your feet. Most people will grab right at the, between the calves. Arms go out to the side, just like we've been practicing on our lying windshield wipers. Palms are up to the ceiling. So this exercise is no different with the ball than without. I'm going to allow my legs to go as far as they can without my shoulder blades popping up off the ground. And then I'm going to lift back to the center. Alternating sides, as far as I can, shoulder blades press down, lift, back to the center. For those of you who either don't enjoy bar work, or don't do bar work at all, and don't focus on much of the complementing muscles of the legs, like our inner thighs and outer thighs, what may happen for you is that your inner thighs may cramp before you can even get your abs to do much. If that happens and you're feeling all inner thighs, the first thing I want you to do is bend your knees. So we still have pressure on the inner thighs, but we have limited the pressure by bringing the length of the leg in a little bit, and so it's going to turn into a bit knee. If you still immediately are feeling all inner thigh, just drop that ball and keep going from here. And in the future, see if you have something around the house, even like a pillow that you can use between the feet. The bigger the ball and the shorter your legs, the more inner thigh work it's going to take to keep that ball up in the air. So if you have a big ball and you have short legs, grab something ahead of time like a pillow, or if you've got a soft bouncy ball or something like that around the house that's about a foot in width, and have that as a backup ready to go, because more than likely your inner thighs are going to scream at you pretty quick. If not, keep that big ball in the air, side to side, really feel those obliques doing your work for you. All right, guys, I really hope that you're enjoying the new variety and the change up in equipment, and I hope you are feeling these workouts, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. Have a great day, everybody.